I know. I'm sorry. I hadn't eaten all day, really. I had 2 tacos. It's not enough. Imagine just going your whole goddamn day from like 12 o'clock. Okay. Maybe one. It's 10 now. And I've eaten anything other than 2 tacos. To begin with, you didn't even eat. So, girl, it's a little hungry. But I run out of time. The Virgos are irritated. The Virgos are mildly amused. The Virgos are shaking their heads. It's just literal spirit of the moment. Characteristics of this reading is ironic to how my actual nature is right now. I'm really excited to see what this sixth card is. I've been waiting all day for it. I should have like created like a. It's never good to be on your phone when you're live. You're not supposed to be entertaining people. My God. This is why my laptop is fucked up right now. Clumsy with the fucking lemonade. Can't remember if it was even lemonade I made or lemonade that was what. Mm. How's everybody doing? Mm? It's Monday. Monday night. Gotta get up again at 7:30. Or at least I gotta get up and be out the house by 7:30. Hopefully no fucking detour to worry about this time. We'll see. But you guys. How you doing? You doing okay? Got some shit going on in here, guys. Something to marinate on. It's crazy. Strange. I didn't really want it. I didn't get out all I wanted to say on that post because I just ran out of characters. Excuse me. I apologize. But for real, what is this? What the fuck? It's like Party City, but chaos. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. The only thing that looks half appealing is this dude, and he's not even really fun. It's like, oh shit. Everyone wants to escape, even though they're getting really, really close to the end. But it's really hard. It's like keeping your momentum, keeping your endurance, keeping the love. Keep reminding yourself of why you're doing what you're doing. Keep remembering why you're in it, why you're doing this. The morale is calling on you. There's moments where it feels like you're not making any sense. You're not going anywhere that's anywhere fast, especially in these relationships these days. It could just feel like you're always doing the wrong thing. When is the situation always gonna? When is it gonna, become catastrophic? Being ready to deal with the spontaneous heartache and the spontaneous issue that comes up. The past hadn't recovered. We didn't even get a chance to really see what was underneath. A child. Page of Wands. Thus comes the birth of a new idea, new sense of self, new surge of spark of energy, a spark of love. It's up to us to make it last, though. It doesn't like I don't know anyone who really thinks that a paradise exists without effort. Paradise is something that is desired because it's not easy. It's not just fun. It's a reality that can happen if we stay true to ourselves, to the reality. No place outside of ourselves, even the places that we go that are claimed to be such paradise, is one until we've mastered the one inside of us. Until then, every vacation we go on, we're always dealing with problems. We're never really feeling like we're taking a break. We're always having to try to see something from another perspective. We're not really unwinding because we're catching ourselves up with all the crap that we didn't realize we just packed away and put aside. It's inundating us now. And everything leads back to just having a new routine, having a new way of doing stuff. That got annoying. Our credit's there for a reason. It makes no sense to cover him. But you get what I'm saying? In this relationship, though, and for singles, holy fuck. We're not gonna find love being humdrum. We're not gonna find love looking like a fucking mope about. If we look mopey, if we look like we're just having too much fun and we're aloof, people are gonna get sick of it. People are not gonna want to hang out. Or people are gonna cause and bring you problems and you're gonna feel like, well, I gotta leave. And two, if we already don't feel like we're worth it, we're getting in our way. Guilt. Shame. You don't need it. Sad just saying fuck it. You don't even need all that fucking shit. You don't need all that extra criticism. You don't need all that bologna and cheese that people fill your head with thinking that you need this to be a professional. You don't need it. What you need is to know what exactly makes sense to you and how you can maintain that respect and demonstrate that respect so people don't cross lines and get confused. The best way to do it is usually the others, right? The reason why is because there's a thing in our brain, what they consider the mirror neuron. If you do something for someone else, people, and they genuinely feel that, they want to duplicate it because it's genuine to their own nature. A yawn. That's what it means that your brain is healthy. It's not always the case. I mean, I'm just throwing hypotheticals in there, but we got to think about it. I got to think about it. We all got to think about it. Preachy, preachy, preachy. A singles out here aren't giving ourselves a lot of slack. But we're also not really seeing how we've taken a lot of slack in other areas because we haven't given ourselves that slack. We slacking off in other areas because we haven't given ourselves some slack. We're slacking off in other areas because we have not given ourselves some slack. But we're still trying the best that we can with what we got because the world's throwing us lemons. Our egos are throwing us lemons. Our other side of us is trying to understand the ego, help the ego, help them to bring it back to peace. What is the fuck question? The one literally said that the sixth question is covered, or is the last to be picked up because this was the question that answers all of this. Why? Why is the gut feeling like the person you're dealing with is aloof? Is not taking the relationship serious? Or why does it feel like you're getting away with something that should probably be taken more seriously? Why does it feel very fun and not so heavy? Why is there rewards being presented to me and I'm not seeing these things as an advantage point? Why do I look for a challenge? Or focus on challenges that have happened previously instead of seeing what's right in front of me and noticing that the situation has changed, especially when I don't think the same. If I think differently, when I temper, like control my emotions just enough so I can listen and get more information and work with that. Like find that I can work with that. Why then do I start seeing patterns changing? Why is it then do I start seeing the things I want? I thought I wasn't worthy. I thought I didn't deserve these things. I thought I had to wait. I thought I had to get better. I thought time had to pass. I thought I had to mature. All I gotta do is come up with some goddamn rules, some structure, some boundaries. All I gotta do is slap on a little Taurus energy and say, hey, you know what? This is just business. This is just making sure I'm good. Just making sure you're good. Nothing personal, honestly. I don't really care to hurt your feelings. It's got nothing to do with that. It's just making sure the home base is solid and not fucking like there's not parasite infested or termite infested rather. It's got no holes in it, no mold in it. The water damage, we're good. Do you want me to be your house? Do you want me to be a stable person for you, like a house? Yo, you gotta make sure that I make sure I'm good. And if it's not with you, if it's not with these people, if it's not with the environment, but I have another objective that's also tied into that because this is Sag. We gotta think we're going past Scorpio. It gotta be a little more complicated than this. Something tying these things together. This is the glue that binds it all. And the sneaky little Pisces with extra glue. You gotta see something from a different perspective. You can't just run, because let's be honest, running is gonna be a lot more painful. Even though that's our animalistic side, getting the fuck out of Dodge is a lot easier. But you know what is easier too? What's also easier? It's just emotionally taxing, because let's be honest, we're not dealing with emotions right here. Okay, maybe we are. But I don't really know. Let's be honest, he's hanging upside down trying to see things from a different perspective. Like, he's allowing him, pushing his emotions in a way down so he can just focus on what is in front of him versus what he's feeling. To be able to get the ideas that he needs to get, bringing his energy interestingly upward by being upside down. Such an interesting perspective. Pisces, you done did it again with the confusion stuff. And this is not to throw shade at any sign of, or people who actually are connected to these signs. I want you to start listening to me very carefully. When I say signs, I mean the energy. Gotta get out of this whole belonging. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm an American. I don't care how I look. I don't care how I sound. I don't care how I talk. I don't care how I walk. I don't care how I dance. I don't care how you perceive me. I don't care how you want me to perceive myself. What the fuck you think is going on? I don't give a fuck. Truly. Why do I not give a fuck? Because let's be honest with you. This is what this is. Wasting time, playing games, not making any goddamn sense. It's not important. What is it? The thing you need to worry about is my credentials? Who the fuck am I? Where the fuck have I been? Why am I speaking this way? Who the fuck am I? Doesn't matter, because the shit I'm saying is still being said. What are you gonna do about that? What are you gonna do about it? What's anybody gonna do about it? Speak your truth. Communicate your things. Talk to your friends. Talk to your family. Talk to everybody. Reestablish new boundaries. Be a new person. Or say nothing. Reflect. Design a new way of being. Whatever the fuck you want to do. But I'm not attaching myself to labels. We can't do it. We can't belong to shit. Because let's be honest, we love our uniqueness way too fucking much. This is Sag. This motherfucker does not see anyone but himself. He's seeing his horse. He's thinking about how fast he's going. He's like, what else am I going to do next after this situation hits the fan? Because let's be honest with you, I'm going to get the fuck out of Dodge if I don't get what I want. The nature of Sagittarius is to be totally free and aware of one's ability to then think of where and what and whom they may be influencing. An influencer. They talk a lot. They know a lot of people. They're very worldly, very eccentric. They know a lot of things, but then they are totally unassuming. Until they start talking to you. They're like, oh my God. She's interesting. She's actually thought this through. Because they live in the fucking moment. Nobody thinks that this person is going to have more than half a vocabulary. They've been all over the place. They look nomadic. They like to wear comfortable clothing like they're fucking poor. What the fuck kind of people are these? No one that anyone literally would duplicate because they're true to themselves. The message is interesting. So what's the question? Okay, I'm stopping. Like, everybody's like, what the fuck does that mean? That means literally what I just was saying. Trying new things. Doing something else. Getting the hell... Like, there's one thing about leaving and dipping and going, nah, this ain't for me. And there's another thing of going like, you know what? I'm going to go the extra mile. I'm going to try a new venture. I'm going to have an agenda, an intention, an idea. I'm going to do it a different way. I'm going to take what I've learned from experiences like these experiences, and I'm going to find a new way of doing stuff. I'm going to just search. I'm going to search for it avidly. I'm going to continue to speak my truth. I'm going to continue to look for the people that actually see me for who I am. And I'm going to let my own energy attract the energy I'm looking for instead of letting myself think I can't attract this energy I want. Start having more fun. You start focusing on what you like to do. You stop giving a fuck about what people say. You stop listening to the stuff about people's signs. You stop listening to all the kind of crap about being a man or a woman. You stop thinking about all the stuff what it means to be the person of your country. You just look at yourself and think, how have I been? That is Leo energy. That's straight up will. That's like, you know what? I'm done. None of this stuff is happening unless I want it to be. I'm gonna go fucking pet a lion. I'm gonna calm my ass down. I'm gonna go fucking touch the lion. And ironically, I'm gonna calm the lion down with me, and we're gonna take a goddamn nap. Like, people are like, why would anybody touch a goddamn lion? Why would I think that I could just walk up to a lion and start petting a lion anyway? Like, it's like, what kind of analogy is this? It's a metaphysical one, folks. Okay? It's not designed for it to be literal. Like, a metaphor that's given, ironically, doesn't need to be taken in its literal form. You just have to take the message in its entirety. And what the message is saying, learn your feelings so you know what you're doing. Because this is an influencer. Influence. You have got to be careful about what you're giving out. And that energy comes out in several different forms. You're only aware of one, and that's not the only one. That's why you have so many different things talking about different elements of the human experience. You have your health, you have your physical, you have your psychological, you have your emotional. Yeah, psychological and emotional apparently are two different things in these worlds. And then you got spiritual, which is also something separate because, let's be honest, they can't figure out what the hell it's trying to talk about outside of the psyche. So we need to at least give that to the religious community, because the scientists don't have any idea what the hell they're trying to talk about. We don't care. We may think it's dark matter, but we don't know. And now we're not even going to really claim it like that. We're just going to say that thing is... We're just going to mention a ton of stuff that has got nothing to do with nothing until we know how it's connected to all the other stuff. Which is fair enough. You gotta work with what you gotta work with. You know what I mean? You can't just be, because that wouldn't make it science, would it? Let science do what it wants to do. It's not designed to be a person. It's designed to be human. That's what our job is. Putting the other parts together while we have the make-believe. Playing the imaginary games. Like, aren't we supposed to be like kids forever? Like, that's technically how I feel. 25. Still loud. Still got on my fucking parents' nerves. Still say the wrong shit. Still say the wrong shit. I even deliver it wrong. What is wrong? Wrong? Well, it's just anything that's displeasurable for somebody else, and it might not go along with the plan that I had for something, not necessarily making it overall incorrect, just in my eyes, it's displacing what I believe is my intention to go towards a specific goal for things. But even that isn't really wrong, is it? Forgiveness. Doing the spiritual work. This is ironically connected. This is ironically associated with the hermit. We all know that's going within, inner learning, But you've been there a while. You're old as fuck. Got a little lantern with you. You're trying to see in the dark, but you're on top of the mountain. Like, there's nowhere else to climb, nigga. It's like, okay, you've been here for a while. What else do you think you're gonna find? Because you're just gonna be wandering around in circles until you probably do find it. But even then, till then, are you gonna be around to give a fuck? You learn everything alone. But relationships accelerate that, and that's the challenge. Finding a way to accelerate your own learning while not being completely um dependent on the world around you. Because if you think about it, right, I notice this trend a lot. Going out, making sure that this person texts you back in a timely fashion, and if they don't text you back, well, they've reached the end of their space, but you didn't let go of it. You're still holding on a little bit, but you're trying to move on. This is carrying baggage just as much as this is carrying baggage. This is just double the amount. This time you think you can get away with running away with it. Like, you don't realize you're not leaving the shit behind, you're taking it with you. So whatever you take it with you, make sure it's something you want to learn from, that there's something that you've learned from, something that you at least know you could do a little better with than beforehand. If you're gonna take it with you, otherwise, you might as well just chill out. Might as well just figure it out here. Be the hermit before the hermit. Well, after the hermit, basically. Yeah. May as well just stand right here while it's stagnant. Cause let's be honest, you're not going nowhere fast if you're gonna take everything that fucked up the first time with you and then do it again. You're catching yourself in your patterns. You catch yourself in your routines. You're catching yourself when you're having fun. You're not thinking about the logistics of the situation, but you're not also completely disconnected. This is not a disconnected energy. He's still feeling. Like, if we had the Knight of Swords, I'd be like, okay, this dude is completely not thinking, like, not feeling. He's thinking. He's solely thinking. But this is someone who's doing and feeling it, feeling himself do it. He ain't he ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't absolved of the feeling part. His delivery is so bad. I can't tell you how awful his delivery is. Sagittarius' delivery is so bad. Depends on what they're gifted with, of course. But I'm not going to lie to you. They're not thinking about what's being said and how it's being said and who's around saying it, because they're feeling whatever it is coming up and they just are passionate about what the fuck it is. It's not about you. It's about me, basically. And why should they be cognizant of everyone else's feelings? They should be allowed to say what the fuck they want to say. Period. They should be allowed to say whatever the fuck you want. You should be allowed to say whatever the fuck you want. Like, I'm here sitting here telling people all kinds of mumbo jumbo. Say whatever the fuck you want, and you know what? It shouldn't be a problem. It really shouldn't be a fucking problem. You want to know why? Because I'm a goddamn adult. As much as I feel like a goddamn kid, I can go online. I can read an article. I can check someone's fucking credentials. Go, is this somebody I know? Oh, let me go double check if this person's even legitimate. Look their shit up. See where they came from. Figure out who they're. Our parents had to do this hardcore by hand. They had to go to the goddamn library. They had to read up on newspapers. They had to do stuff manually. We got a fucking device. We don't even need to go outside anymore. People can say whatever the fuck they want, and if you get your little fee-fees hurt. Look at the other side of the world and tell them to fucking suck it up. Yeah, man, fuck being outside. Hi, mods. Fifis can't be hurt on the inside. I mean, I'm just feeling like Sure. Put some balls on, people. Every goddamn body. I don't give a fuck who the hell you think you are. Put some on. You put some on here. You put some in between your legs. You put them on. Put them on. Put them fucking bitches on. And just do it. Like, get angry a little bit. Get a little saucy with your tone. Get a little something. But then remember, people are allowed to fucking react the way they want to. And when they're done reacting, remember that you reacted from the way you wanted to, and it wasn't personal from the beginning, and you let it go. You don't take it with you. I think I'm gonna strap this on like a badge of fucking self-righteousness and go after you like a motherfucker. No! That makes no sense. You sit your ass down. As a matter of fact, you just say what the fuck you're gonna say, and you wait for the response. Because all you want to do anyway is make some goddamn progress. You can't make progress if you don't get the sauce out. Get the sauce out. Put some water up in there. Get the bitch out. Get it out. Put real boundaries down. Stop playing around. The more you dance around this, the more this keeps being a problem. And you keep thinking, well, the world's out to get me. Nothing's gonna. Your problem's gonna continue to exacerbate. This little small little nuclear bomb here, boom. Like, this is like someone ignoring the bullshit. Like, come on, guys. Oh, I'm not gonna look at it. I'm just gonna pretend it's gonna go away. And it will. Till it comes back. Like a little fucking grenade. Like, he's like a little fucking firecracker. A little grenade. A little son of a bitch. A little arsonist. And then you got Liam right on top of it. Guys, just fucking explode and don't take it personal when you get exploded back on. Because you may need some of that motherfucking knowledge. You might need some of it. Just have the fucking course. And move on. Don't take it personal. Just take what you know and go with it. Don't be a battered wife. What does that mean? Don't act like you're a victim. Just get up in there. Throw your own hands. Take a couple beatings yourself. Come out and realize where you at. You're afraid to be who you really are because you're worried about judgment. You're worried about tradition. You're worried about... This is a new goddamn world, motherfuckers. Everybody has to have a fucking reality check. So you go ahead and be your goddamn self. You singles, you couples, it's time to start being real, especially with each other. If the passions died down and old issues are coming up, it's time to start talking. And remember, the past issues were there before you showed up, so just let them roll over. Like depression, mental health. We are countries with parents who've gone through it. Why wouldn't we have our own baggage of that trauma to deal with? We gotta give ourselves more goddamn compassion. I don't sound hella compassionate right now because I'm too busy being irritated that there's no goddamn compassion. I'm not being compassionate that there's no compassion. How the fuck is that supposed to work? Oh, just do this. Oh, just do that. No, I wouldn't even be on. Listen, I wouldn't be honest with the tarot if I didn't do it. If I'm frustrated, that's fine. I have compassion. I can see everyone's still trying. You ain't doing enough. I'm not doing enough. We all gotta do a little more. Just a little bit. Just a tiny bit more. He's doing just a tad bit more. Just enough to pass. Nah. You need to do a little more than that. Overachieve. Don't just puff yourself up and then show up just a tad bit late. Don't do that. And I don't mean this legitimately with people that go to work and stuff. Shit happens. This world is crazy. I mean with your relationships. You're slacking, you're moving behind because the world's moving too fast. You're trying to catch up. The world gets it. There's workarounds. If they don't get it, guess what? Guess who's really going to get it? You are, and you're not going to give a fuck. Because it ain't personal, asshole. They're trying to make you feel bad for not showing up on time. You know what you've been through? Look them in the goddamn eye and say, it's nothing personal, buddy. Get over it. If they want to let you go, it's a recession. They need you. It's a weirdo recession as well. And I hate to act like that, like we have this recession to last on forever. We're not going to be rich like this forever. We can't just be riding on shit like this forever. But let's be honest. When we tell people to go fucking suck a dick, we need to be ready to go. And when I say we need to be ready to go, we need to be loyal to ourselves, literally connected with how the fuck we're gonna roll, so we can tell other people how to be in our space. So we don't have to fucking fake. We don't gotta fake it to make it. We don't gotta do any of that fucking baloney ass confident shit. We just ride with the real confidence like a fucking Leo. Oh, it's real because I make it so. I don't just decide I'm gonna be fake as fuck about my confidence. I'm gonna be honest and confident because why else wouldn't I? We're being called to be Leos in Cancer season. Like, move it the fuck on. Get past the part that doesn't make sense. That part that doesn't make sense is the shit that you're harping on. It's not really the real issue. You got bigger fish to fry, but you're worried about some bologna and cheese. Everyone, including me. The drama that's right in front of you, there's so much more going on. Deeper in the surface. We're getting ready to pop here. This is like the bottom floor. You got problems all the way down here. Why are you worried about all this? We better get into the bottom to the critics of craze. Think about it, right? When we think about playing video games, right, and we thinking about the final boss, who the fuck is that? We had to go through all these fucking bosses just to get to the final boss and everything. Why couldn't we have just gotten to him from the very beginning? Because of the goddamn journey we're missing out on. And let's be honest, we like the drama, we like the travel, we like the whole thing. We do. So let's just let ourselves play the story out. Go to the final boss. If you feel like it right now, if you're ready to go, because Spyro had that option, you know that, guys, remember? Those of you who played the old Spyro, PlayStation 1, you know, if you wanted to just take on the final boss before you got all the things you wanted, you could have just got on there and just done it. But you needed shit. It was gonna be hard as hell. Cause you weren't like, you didn't have all the abilities and shit. You didn't have the strength. So, do it. You're not ready? No one's judging you because no one cares. I don't think anyone can care. I think everyone is so literally like this that they think that you're caring about them and they're even freaking out even more. Just stop the caring. Do whatever the fuck you want. If it's like a typical Virgo to do whatever the fuck it is, do it. Look these bitches in the eye and do it. Just look at them like this. And I don't hear anything. Why do I get the sense that this reading this entire time was about taking your power back and going the extra mile to do that? Excess of Swords is usually not very confrontational. It's actually trying to move to a place of more peace and tranquility, but you end up lying to yourself when you do it. Hey, listen, preach with the 2 E's. I ain't hating. Aww. Thanks, Mont. I so appreciate you being here. You've been super busy, mate. You've been hella busy. We got a family man in the chat. Family man. Him a daddy. So, let's pull an action spread because I feel so liberated. Always here. That's a daddy thing to say. Let's be honest, guys. Yo, when I said shit is moving fast, shit is moving fast. It's no joke. Like, why? And then there's a lot of communication happening too. Taurus. Wow, that's not bad. Ooh. That's really nice. That's really, really nice. Now, the moon in Taurus, the sun in Taurus is interesting. But the sun talks about illumination, bringing things, into awareness. It's like, it's just what you thought was unclear, murky, and shadowy. It's all coming to light, basically. The energy this is centered around is Taurus. So this is possibly to do with self-esteem, production, money. Number one came up as an ego. So this is possibly to do with definitely with self-worth. I'm definitely thinking self-worth for a lot of us. But it's something to do with stabilizing and family. I definitely agree with family because we have another earth energy, which is the sixth house. It belongs to Virgo, and that's to do with routines, your health, making sure that's on point, and your work, making sure that that's your hand. All those things are in alignment with you in a sense, like just making sure you're taking care of yourself, making sure you're of service in some way that it can replenish you as an individual and reestablish that self esteem and just fill you up with the pride that you believe is healthier than the pride that you would put in to overcompensate for what's missing. So it's really good. And I say that because the Ace of Cups, the Page of Cups, that's new love, y'all. For all of us singles out there, that's nice. For all of us relationship havers out here, that's even nicer. That's romance starting to rekindle and things. It's starting the arrows of love coming in. This is romantic as all hell. And this is because you guys are starting to notice each other's needs. You guys are starting to fill those in a bit more. And that's attractive. You're filling the gaps that they didn't recognize you were filling. And that's sexy. And as singles, we're noticing people that are picking up some slack for us in a way that feels more loving. Someone's giving more of their attention, providing more of their affection, being more charitable with their time with us. And that's a good sign since I feel like a lot of us have been wanting this for a while. Yeah, I think we've been wanting this for a little bit. I say that. Ooh, the Two of Cups. It totally is. Oh my God. Some of you guys have been looking for love. It's been literally single for a while. You're going to find someone that's just going to blow your socks off. And they're going to be exactly how you want them to be. Those of you in a relationship, you're going to start feeling like your relationship is really starting to hit points of where you've been wanting, where you've been manifesting, where you've been dreaming so much of. It's really starting to come into fruition. And some of you that have babies coming, some of you that are creating the babies, some of them that are already existing, well, they're the glue that's keeping everything together. Inspiring, feeling the morale. Some of you are literally surprise pregnant. Congratulations. Shit happened real quick. And then some of you guys, I feel like truly is just really getting more into a deeper level with your connections with people and with yourselves. You're starting to be more aware of your own emotions and then tending to those. And it feels like it's moving things at a much faster pace because you got something you're focusing on. It's no longer thinking outside of yourself. You're so inside of you that you're noticing time flying. That's excellent. That's also resparking that imagination. This is the imagination boy. The dream boy. Yeah. Dream boy makes the dream work. Okay. And it brings it into life because he's not focusing on, well, how do I make this a thing? He's just letting himself be in the experience of it being a thing already. And it comes to fruition. It's interesting because, again, it's very fast. I like it though. For those of you that are sensitive to booties, this deck has a booty in it. I think it has some boobs. It's not designed to sexually arouse you. These are symbols. I will baby proof these readings because that platforms such as these require me to be very careful about what I share with other adults. If you're 18, you gotta serve in the army, my friend. I gotta make sure you're okay with seeing some titties. Also, you can't smoke. But dying for our country makes sense. Just think about that for a minute. Okay, when I say time is flying, it's interesting. Slow as fuck though, but it's moving pretty fast. Whatever you guys are doing right now as far as your work, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep putting your head down. Keep doing the best you can. They're gonna get some sort of results, I feel like, very soon because this energy is so on your side. The energy is very positive. I feel like for the house, for everyone that's watching, savings. Trying not to overspend. This is a good idea. You know, spending on what you need, not so much on your trying to cap off on the stuff that you don't need. And also, I think in the past there was the tendency to want to kind of clam up and hold and keep stuff in. But there's certain things that you don't really want to shut out because then you lose the ability to manifest exactly what it is that you want because they're trying to work around your constraints and they'll shave off whatever it is of the dream for it to get to you, even, you know. So be careful of the keyhole you create. In a sense, the relationship needs that doorway. If you're blocking it off, keeping it from things from manifesting, that's probably what's taking a little bit more time. That's why there's possibly a delay. There's some resistance a little bit, but it's easing up because it's starting to leave. It's say it itself. It feels better to have it out, even though the initial maybe be like a shock to the system, like a ooh, like a oh my god. But it feels better because it's the Page of Cups. It's healing that comes in. So just get it out. Just like whatever this cyst is, it needs to pop, people. Cause Homeboy is gonna heal it. He's the dream boy. Wow, the worst of it all is coming to an end. And it's interesting because the Ten of Wands suggests that there's some sort of situation that was kind of a lot to deal with all on your own. Is yeah, you're jumping ship in a way. Like, or it's no longer it feels like it's just your weight to carry. You're finally free of the debts of something or the free of the severe amount of responsibility. It's a drastic change from having a ton of it to none at all. I know some of y'all may be quitting jobs, but then some of y'all also may feel like you have a new sense of freedom, new way to express yourself because you've got some time freed up. Whatever it was here, where you were kind of like trying to do it all your own, no longer is the case. Because, yeah. And then for those of you that are single, situation's similar. Somebody's allow themselves to kind of ease into the things. You know, it's not a fast process, but it's a fast process. And it's going really well. It's going really surprisingly well. Well, but way better than probably a lot of us thought. And it's showing to be pretty nice because it shows some consistency and it's what we're looking for. That consistency frees us up to do other things. It frees us up to explore our feelings and go deeper or to even do something else. Be creative and express ourselves in ways that we never thought we would to other people. Maybe we find ourselves emptier so we can have people fill in our cup. Ready to start receiving, starting to be receptive. Ooh, Empress. Damn it with the fucking hangman. I mean, he follows everybody, god damn it. At least this reading today. Okay, well, the two things that the hangman. What the hell? Eight of Pentacles. Okay, work. Like I said, nothing is free. But as I was saying, temperance. Excuse me. Well, temperance too. Um, the hangman and the Empress have something similar. They are both static. I'm not saying that the Empress doesn't move, but she represents passivity in a way. She's the divine feminine. So a lot of that is receptivity, and usually there is the stillness that's associated with femininity a lot of the times. Her sister being the high priestess. It's just so it suggests there's just like a lot of period of alone time. But every time you're getting back into that space where you're alone and by yourself, it's easier to deal with because there's something more you're looking forward to it. There's ways of which you're looking more forward to diving back into your own psyche. You're healing your own inner child in a way, and it's nice because now you can invite it to play. You can play with it, do different things. You feel it's freed up. It's not being badgered to do certain things. Before it was kind of all blocked up, and now since some things let itself kind of run its course, it's been a valve open. Things are now, and it's divinely guided too, so it's definitely in your benefit, right? You can start feeling more free to do stuff. Or you starting to feel like you're exploring more into the psychology of the person you're dealing with, and it is making you feel more and more in love with them. It's helping you deepen your connection and your feelings towards that person because the steps that are being taken to get to know them are being taken. I think there was the initial shock, but the initial shock was so welcomed and if such a pleasant surprise that the work in the beginning, maybe it felt like a lot in the first place, but then it just died down and started feeling like this is cake. I like it here. But then I get some feeling like this is a familiarity. The only thing that's brand spanking new is this Ace of Pentacles, but that's coming up as a clarification. I think at one point in time it was something really, really new. But now it's aged a bit. It's still not in a phase where it's in a mature state, but it's young enough to nurture and to develop and take care of. And it's still good values and principles right where it's most crucial because it hadn't developed too far to where you have to struggle to get that shit in. Maybe I was a little hard the first time. Seeing that this reading here is so nice, maybe I was a little preachy, a little too harsh. But this is really nice. I mean, some of y'all could have met somebody. I don't know. I want to like this would be the time where I would be like, okay, let's take some live calls until 11:50 and then clap out. You know, don't really have all that set up yet. Really, I mean, I do. If you're already on my Discord, then what you would then just need to do is donate $2. Then I'll just be able to add you onto the stream. It's the minimum. Just to support the stream a bit because it is self-governed and operated. And you're getting a free reading. Well, you're getting a reading with it. So donation to the stream. Yeah, $2. It saves the spam because people are crazy, and make sure people are legitimately calling the show up to want to have a question answered. And like, if you waste $2, thanks for the $2. You may not be able to spend the $2 again. I don't want you to spend too much just to get something nice and quick, and I don't want you to spend too little to get banned. I want to make it worthwhile a little bit. $2. I mean, yeah. What other things could I pull for us? Because that's like the next like thing. It's like figuring out what everybody else is interested in. What are you guys wanting to know yourselves? Let's do it. I got a question. And I think probably it's these fucking prayer beads around my neck. But I have time for one more reading. How can we handle situations the next time emotions seem to rise above the specific frequency than we would like? What can we do the next time we run into a situation where our emotions are a little bit too high to handle the conversation? And it's a pretty serious one right now. Cool. You notice the advice doesn't say run from the fight, guys? Probably because every time you run from a fight, you cause more problems. You need to just go into it without being emotional. So much so. Now, the Six of Cups is interesting as a placement to have because it literally talks about remembering. Remember. Like, this is talking about like going back in a time of innocence when before you've made any serious decisions about stuff, just remembering what kind of person you were, what intentions you had, which ironically, with a child, let's be honest, what intentions do children really have? Not very much. Not any really. So to be honest, these things have to be something simple, easy to remember, something easy to remember because it's nothing hard to remember. It has to be innate to you. So a memory, ironically, is etch a sketch of something in your mind due to an impression that's made. That you do something that would impress that pattern into your mind for you to remember it. So this is very similar. You can't have a memory without feelings. It's very hard. Some people can do it, but like usually there is something there. The impression is attached to an emotion, how one felt, or what they remembered feeling in that moment during that experience. Now, it's super hard to put it on manually sometimes, but I feel like this reading is telling us exactly that's what's going to happen because the situation is calling for mechanics. But what the obstacle is our emotions. They're getting away from us. We're letting it kind of spill all over the place and take our focus off what really matters, which is the connection, the relationship, and what you are actually arguing about. The intention behind what you go into as far as your fights should not be having any real target to any person directly. It should have lots to do with the topic or the practice at hand. You notice that these people are swinging wands around and no one really is getting hurt. They're practicing, even though this is ironically a challenge. They're practicing. This is sparring. Sparring is a form of practice done to exercise technique and methods. Learned it's in a dojo or school. When you're actively engaged in something like this, you're not going to be focusing on other people. You're going to remember the steps that were taught so you can keep up with the technique and the method. The second you start looking at other people and trying to mimic what they're doing, you may step out of line and you might get smacked in the face. But whose fault really is that? Everyone is known to be doing their own thing and supposed to be staying along a specific line. The challenge is to make sure you're not going to divert from your own sense of purpose to end up copying or duplicating anything around someone else because you could get fucked up. Copyright isn't fucking a joke. Plagiarism isn't a joke. We got so many laws around all that stuff. So let's be honest, right? You do want to do your own thing in this space because that might actually keep you from getting hit upside the head with one of these wands. Ironically, getting yourself into an argument talks about how you have to remember the intention going into the argument. What's the point? Why are we talking about this? You don't have enough information. Go into don't feel bad about it. Don't feel like, well, because I don't know, I gotta figure it out with the missing pieces, and then get frustrated with the situation because I have to figure it out to these people. Nobody told you to do that. You realize this is the only person here. This is the only person deciding if they're gonna dwell in these cups. No one else in this fucking picture is telling this person to go fucking dwell in that. Oh, but we needed this for the plans. Well, the plans can get rearranged. Just go back to the drawing board. And you go back to the drawing board by talking about the issue and remembering that no one's out to get anybody in the process. This is not a personal issue. The only time shit gets personal is when the cups come up. It's like, what the fuck? No one's going below the belt here. Everyone's kind of keeping it pretty practical. Business, power. Business, power. Feelings. Whoa! Why are we incorporating feelings? It's not about you. If you find yourself constantly getting into an argument with somebody and it's heated and it's getting crazy out of hand, just bring it all the way back. It's like, I'm trying to talk about what I'm trying to talk about. But I feel like we're taking shit out of context and making it a problem that's to do with us, and it ain't that deep. And if it is that deep, then it needs to be explicitly stated, this is not necessarily the way I want to function. Because I don't think this is the way we solve our problem. Let's find a way to deal with this better. Slow down a little bit too. I feel like that's what this is talking about, this outcome. It's like you're slowing down, you're really taking into account what's being said, you're looking at the details, being Virgoing about it, you're being a Virgo. You gotta look at it. You gotta slow down before decisions are made. Any rash decision can be very devastating for a night like this. So you better take your time with making sure that this is something that you really want to react to. And how do you want to react to that, considering that this may call for such a reaction? It's not very simple, is it? It doesn't feel it. Ah. Like, what are we gonna do about it? What are we gonna do about it? So the situation obviously is to do with plans made with other people, some plans made with some agreements or something like that, something being sorted out. But I feel like this isn't really something set in stone. There's still plannings, plans for the future. So it's designed to adjust. Something's not this. If something's no longer able to be in play, despite how the plans work, that person's gonna have to learn to get the fuck over it. Because at the end of the day, it's like, it's not like any one of you guys intended for this situation to happen. The Five of Cups is a mourning card. Someone lost something. Me personally, whose fault is here? Because I don't see anybody at fault. I think something just is missing, and it's not this. It's someone's not like seeing this as a potential because it's neither not perfect. It's missing something. Commitment. What's this? What's judgment supposed to suggest? The fuck? What? What? Um, I'm trying to digest what I'm looking at because it's like very weird. Okay, so then what's the actual challenge? Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. What the fuck is this? No, 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 no. Nothing making sense now. This is just not making sense. So, like I was saying, right? When I remember I said that this is like plans for the future. Someone's looking at the three missing three cups, like it's a part of the plan, but there's still people around to work around the plan and make it better. There's someone that's not noticing a remedy, and they feel like they may lose the support because have they're partly responsible for whatever's missing. Somebody wants some plans. I think this is something that somebody wanted in the past. Some plan for the future. This has already happened already. But they are pining, they want this and they don't know how to reconnect because the situation was an old one and they want to revive that. But it's a dead horse, or at least they think it is. So the situation is somewhat. Ooh, like apologies don't really come up really well for me like that. Like this doesn't look like someone wants to apologize, but then at the same time, could be that someone feels bad. Like what the fuck? It's like serious like loss, grieving, guilt. Three of Cups. Like bro, what the hell were you doing? Like who was doing what and why? Like I don't want to say someone was in a third party relationship, but like what the fuck happened? Because this is so weird. Like why are you missing something that's already there? Usually that's what the Five of Cups is like you don't notice that the cups are still upright, but you also knew that because you had to have put them down to be moping over the three missing cups in the first place, the cups that are spilled over. Maybe I'm assuming too much, but the cups are still there. You could turn around and then be reminded, or it can inspire something because it sparked a memory. But like at the end of the day, like yeah, I feel like someone feels like there's a loss of support because somebody is responsible for missing something or for losing something or something being missing the connection. And then this is like clamming up, like what the fuck? The five of wands, the challenge is to not hide and go seek. It's not to go retreat and spy on the person you're interested in. It's about doing something that means something that's actually got some value attached to it. Speaking your truth probably starts right there. Fuck. I just want one card for the Three of Pentacles just to get an understanding of what that Three of Pentacles even means. I'm digging in the middle of the goddamn deck. This card is not even supposed to be used. What did I say? What did I just say? This was something from the past. Some plans for the future that somebody wanted. And to being alone because there was some heartache that they didn't get over. I think it was some sort of spur in the moment, some sort of impulsive decision. Okay, one more card for the. I just want one card for the Knight of Pentacles, please. Lord Jesus. We got too many goddamn soulmate cards in this one fucking reading. Soulmate karma cards too. You got justice. You got the lovers. You got the 6 of Cups. Whoa. What are the two major energies that play right now? So I help identify the energies that are at work. What kind of relationship are we focusing on right now? This might be a hard one for this one because it's a collective read. I mean, I apply to everybody. The Knight of Wands. 7 of Cups. Like I said, having fun. Oh my god, that was literally the fucking reading all day. Seven, like the Knight of Wands. Playing charades, chasing dreams, not really settling down because all the options look pretty. You're never gonna find something you want unless you buckle down and make it a reality and think this is a realization. Someone thought they could just run away and find what it is they wanted that would make them happy. But it didn't make sense because they knew that at the end of the day, you still got to invest time, nurture, develop a relationship. You have to show your worth at a job out over time. It's not gonna happen overnight. You gotta literally live up to what you are literally trying to be. And that comes with challenges and it's not gonna be perfect. You gotta let that shit fly off your back and learn from those mistakes anyway, so you can be the best that you could be. But the problem is that you don't know what you want, if you want it, if it's everything that you're tying yourself to is too good to be true. So instead of just trying to fight through the fucking madness, you're just gonna go, nah, let me just hold back and look at this and see if this is really how I really want it. But there's no real pursuing because there's no real getting your hands dirty and really just being in the moment and dealing with the conflict itself. Just lots of, shoulda, coulda, woulda. If I had this, I could do it. Not feeling like you're enough scarcity mindset. Oh man, this is too much power for you to be holding it back. You got Gemini and Sagittarius night next to each other, like bam. Then Libra here is like, we need some shit straightened out because you want a reunion with somebody who you literally just kind of like either purposely lost support of. We got 3 cards for everything else. Let's just someone like someone hop skipped a jump, led the connection. Just started fucking straight over. And apologized as a friend and didn't really recover the connection before they decided to just leap free. They just was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do whatever I want. Now you gotta come back a little bit apprehensive because I think there's something that's truly something deeper that's wanted, but it's hard to say because there's a lot of children involved. There's lots of immaturity. God damn. We have every fucking knight in here. The only knight we're missing is the Knight of Cups. The Page of Cups, rather. We're doing the only page we're missing. We got the Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords. 3 pages. Kids. But all of those things are little offers, little studiers, little whatever. And also, let's be honest, we've had 3 knights already show up. Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords. It was up earlier. It's a lot of immature energy, but everyone involved is immature. They're not. No one's better than the other. There's some things that each side can learn a little bit better from, and no one's right, no one's wrong. It's empathy and compassion that's needed. I mean, Libra and Gemini, empathy and compassion, y'all. Because the opposite of that is like almost psychopathy and narcissism. We don't want that. Like dictatorial, like you could like so detached from other people that you just think that you're superior and can and should make decisions for other folks because you think you're that intelligent. than narcissism, because the only beauty you see is that reflected from that reflection of yourself through the eyes of that person you're looking at him. I can't remember how the phrase goes, but you're basically not looking at the person that you're in love with. You're looking at yourself, or you're rather, you will love them because the way that you feel with them, based off of the role you play, based off the mindset you have when you're with them. It's all gonna like, it's doing something. But like, this motherfucker is here to say, for the moment, just like this energy here is for the say, it's for the moment. You're not gonna be a kid forever. This energy is not gonna be here forever. You're gonna have to learn how to grow up. And this situation is not necessarily saying that you need to grow up, but at the same time, the attention that's needed is on the craft in which you're trying to create. And if you want to have a relationship, single or in one, in an existing relationship, if you want a good one that's going to stand the test of time, you got to be present with the arguing, you got to be present with the conflicts, and you have to remember that they don't go past the support network. Sorry, they don't really touch on that unless something itself is being said, and I don't think any are being said. I think in the past, that was the attack. Something vulnerable, something soft, something weak and pudgy that they can quickly hurt you with because they felt pain. But we know those antics, we know those games. People will say and do all kinds of things. Even when they love someone deeply, they want to have them feel that one pain because they want that empathy, they want that compassion, they want that belonging so bad. But we got to be careful because we can't let them win and have what they want to justify the negative thinking that they have on themselves that continue the negative thinking onto us. We have to cut that for them by cutting the impulse to dive in deep with our own words and our own belief systems and our own passion to go ahead and say it. We gotta bite the tongue back, just a tad. When I say bite the tongue, I mean, don't let yourself go crazy. Just remember what it is you're even angry for and say that, because that will do you more justice than trying to go after the person that you're trying to connect with, the person that you actually find to be very comfortable and safe with, the person that you feel is giving you the support network that you've always wanted. Don't go in for the jugular, people. I know it's fucking tempting. And we learned a lot. There's that stubbornness. Don't let that shit come out. Like, there's a stubborn part, but then there's a part of us that's just gonna be like, we could have handled this probably a little bit better too. Like, I lost friends this past week because I have a temper and I don't have a way to I don't just stop saying whatever I say. Lots of people think that's over analyzing things. Some people think it's rude. Some people think it's argumentative for no reason. Some people think it's toxic. And you got to figure out where their perspective ends and where you begin, where it's tolerable, respectful, and along the same lines of where kind of experience you're trying to have. Like, make sure that lines up. Maybe argue with people isn't always what you want to do. Maybe just letting people have their say is all that's really what you care about. Because the relationship isn't replaceable, as you're noticing, or this person's noticing, or the situation's being, very apparent about. But you also got to be true to you. Right? Taking accountability for where things may not have fallen in the places that wouldn't make sense for you either, because you didn't do what you need to do. This person didn't look like I think they want an apology for maybe what happened, but they're also still responsible for those cops being lost. They're also responsible for the support they no longer have. They may miss them, and they may think, oh, if this thing happened, no, you the one who dumped the cups, remember? You also are the one who caused that problem. And it is okay because you know where your power is, so you can do better next time. It's not about whether or not you're going to find the right people or you're ever going to run in the right people again. You burn bridges, But then you know what you did to have burned them in the first place, to not burn them again, and to do only that to people that you believe deserve that sort of treatment. And then you trust that that forgiveness can be duplicated by showing the similar forgiveness and open-mindedness to other people, to the person that you want to reconnect with. Be careful though, if you're the asshole, you might want to come a little more humbler. Wow, what a reading. I can't tell you how much I really enjoy diving deep, getting a good idea of what the energies have to show for us singles and couples out here, because it's hard. When the world can't really make sense of their own relationships because they can't stop thirsting over power and other fucking crazy crap, it can make you feel like you're alone in this world with the people that you're with and navigating those relationships because everyone's bonkers. Whose opinion do you trust these days if everyone is literally on their fucking soapbox and no one is really aware that they're just foaming for the mouth? Like, you don't even know if your psychologist is ever going to be even going to be honest with you and be real. Listen to everything you got to say. You're not alone. And when I say that, it's not to say that you should be looking for people to literally provide you solutions to your problems. As an adult, you never, I personally think, you never want to do that. Because they're not your solutions. You're too perfect, too special for you, unless you really believe you're that cookie cutter, to really fall in line with somebody else's strategies for somebody's success. Your success is unique to you because you develop it somehow. And that's for you to discover. That's the exciting part. Lots of people don't think that's exciting. But I don't think a lot of us are trained, given the material or the resources to really know, like, to really like be comfortable in that area. To be like, oh, okay. This is what being inside my own head feels like. It doesn't have to be torturous. And literally training yourself to not be in a torturous place takes some work, because your best work was in there. You know what I mean? Keeping that mindset up. Your best work is in there. So when you tame the beast inside here, it's a lot easier to be able to take the silence when it's time to deliver it. And not literally let yourself wallow in guilt because you knew that a part of you knew something wasn't quite as legitimate of an ending as it should have been. Because I think that the Five of Cups rather, the Five of Cups is not the end. It's the very middle of the story. This person is mourning over the past, but there's so much more space to go. So much more time. You have 5 more cards, 5 more stories, 4 more analogies to get through before the end of the story. So that can't be the ending. It's up to you to decide what you do next, Pete. I'm just your friendly neighborhood tarot reader and astrologer. American. Could care less of what part of Africa I look like I'm from. Because I was born and raised here. I love my country. I love my sisters and brothers, my country's sisters and brothers. Whatever the perspective they have, whether it's to have me as a fellow citizen or back as a fucking slave, I don't give a fuck. I love you. And I may not see you clearly yet, but if with some time, if some patience, just as much as I'm giving that same patience, it'd be lovely. It'd be lovely to get to understand you, learn more about you. As long as you can take me as I am, I can take you as you are. We'd be all right. I don't need to go any further than that. It's been fun. Bye, guys.